And now for our next news special report.
In the blink of an eye, our interconnected world unraveled. July 19th, 2024, a single software update from CrowdStrike, a cybersecurity giant, unleashed global havoc. Flights grounded, banks frozen, hospitals crippled. The digital backbone of our society crumbled. Over the next 24 hours, the world would witness an unprecedented cascade of failures, exposing the fragility of our technological dependence. Brace yourselves for a shocking journey through the day the Earth's systems went dark. And in a world where a single software glitch can paralyze global systems, imagine having a safeguard for your daily lives. Our dash cam, like the digital backup for your car, provides clarity in chaos. Drivers with dash cams are 60% likely to be at fault in accidents, saving time and money in legal battles. This easy-to-install device offers 4K Ultra HD night vision and 24/7 motion detection, ensuring you're always protected. Visit the link in the description, carvisionx.com, for free shipping and bonuses during our summer special. Drive confidently knowing that you are prepared for the unexpected on the road and in our increasingly unpredictable digital world. So as dawn broke on July 19th, 2024, few could have predicted the storm about to engulf the globe. 8:20 a.m., the first tremors of the impending catastrophe began to surface. American Airlines, United, and Delta issued a global ground stop on all flights due to communications issues. Low-cost carriers like Frontier followed suit. Pilots informed bewildered passengers that all systems were down and no aircraft could take off until they were brought back online. Watch now. This is a 12-hour time-lapse video. Shows a dramatic reduction in American Airlines, Delta, and United plane traffic after what was likely the biggest IT outage in history, forcing a nationwide ground stop of the three airlines. Let's watch that. Wow. Look at that. It feels like 9/11 all over again, doesn't it? Now, the ripple effect was immediate and far-reaching. By 8:30 a.m., Sky News was forced off the air as a flawed antiviral update left Microsoft Windows users locked out of their systems worldwide. The broadcaster resorted to playing old documentary footage, desperately trying to find a solution to the problem. Watch.
You're watching Sky News. Hello, a very good morning. You're watching Sky News. Let's get you up to date with our top stories here today. And a major global IT outage is impacting many of the world's largest companies, including us here at Sky News. The system failure is believed to have been caused by a flawed antivirus update, although nothing has as yet been confirmed.
Here at the BBC, CBBC as well. There you go. The message is clear and simple. Sorry, something's gone wrong. While we fix it, you can go to the BBC iPlayer.
Wow. So as you can see in this clip, even major news networks like Sky News were not immune to the outage, struggling to maintain their broadcast and keep viewers informed. As the minutes ticked by, the true scale of the disaster began to unfold. Emergency services lines went down in multiple states across the U.S., including Alaska, Arizona, Indiana, Minnesota, New Hampshire, and Ohio. The lifeline for millions in need of urgent assistance had been severed. At 8:40 a.m., the source of the chaos was revealed. CrowdStrike, the U.S. cybersecurity company responsible for protecting countless organizations worldwide, admitted to being the root cause of the error. The company's CEO, George Kurtz, would later describe it as a defect found in a single content update for Windows. Now, in this clip, we see the CrowdStrike CEO visibly struggling to explain how a single content update would cause such widespread disruption. Watch.
According to your statement, it was a single content update that has managed to shut down air travel, credit card payment systems, banks, broadcasts, street lights, 911, emergency, around the globe. Why is there not some kind of redundancy or some sort of backup? How is it that one single software bug can have such a profound and immediate impact?
Well, when you look at the complexity of cybersecurity, you're always trying to stay one step ahead of the adversaries. Excuse me. Man, just 1 second, please.
Oh yeah, take a drink of water.
Yeah, sorry.
Sure.
His nervousness and inability to provide a clear answer raised questions about the company's preparedness for such a catastrophic event. The fallout, swift and merciless. Airports around the world descended into pandemonium. Melbourne Airport in Australia announced a global technology issue impacting check-in procedures. Passengers found themselves stranded with no way to board their flights or even check their luggage. Now, this video from the Las Vegas airport shows the chaos and long lines caused by the outage, with Blaze TV's Alex Stein describing it as unlike anything he'd ever seen. Watch.
Holy cow, the Vegas airport is insane. This cyber attack is unlike anything I've ever seen in my life.
And similarly, this footage from Portland Airport demonstrates the extensive queues and confusion faced by travelers. Watch. And by 9 a.m., the crisis had reached a fever pitch. American Airlines apologized to customers for the grounded flights, but the damage was done. Crowds gathered at airports, confusion and frustration mounting with each passing minute. In New York, more than half of all flights were delayed, creating a domino effect that would ripple across the global air transport network. Now, this image shows the FAA ATC advisory indicating the American Airlines had finally canceled their ground stop, but the impact on travel continued to be severe. The financial world was not spared. The London Stock Exchange reported a global technical issue preventing news from being published. Banks caught in the crossfire left countless individuals locked out of their accounts, and the notorious blue screen of death became an all too common sight, affecting not just financial institutions, but supermarkets and media outlets as well. Now, what you're seeing here is a sign on the Gale's Bakery, illustrating how even small businesses were affected, forced to offer free coffee or alternative ordering methods due to payment system issues. And this photo of a shop in Southend-on-Sea shows how businesses were forced to revert to cash-only transactions due to the global outage. Healthcare systems, already strained, faced a new crisis. Dr. Tamara Sharif took to social media to express her concerns about the chaos in hospitals. Management systems were collapsing, leaving medical professionals scrambling to provide care without access to critical patient information. As the morning wore on, and mind you, we're only in the morning, the shockwaves continued to reverberate. Paramount Global channels MTV, VH1, CMT, and Pop TV went offline. Emergency response systems across Phoenix and New Hampshire were forced to dispatch cars manually, writing down information on paper to share with first responders. And this tweet from UK Sky sports presenter highlights how even major media organizations struggled to maintain their broadcasts. By midday, the full extent of the damage was becoming clear. CrowdStrike's stock plummeted, wiping out $12.5 billion in value. The CEO, George Kurtz, appeared on national television offering a somber apology. He said, "We're deeply sorry for the impact we've caused to customers and travelers, to anyone affected by this, including our company." The crisis even reached the highest levels of government. President Biden was woken from his slumber, briefed on the outage, with his team engaging across various agencies to monitor the situation. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg warned that the ripple effects could carry on, even as efforts to resolve the issue continued. Now, what you'll see here is Pete Buttigieg addressing the concerns that were raised by the outage, emphasizing the need for improved cybersecurity measures across all infrastructure sectors. Watch.
The fact that one company pushing one buggy content update to another company could take down so much of the global IT infrastructure, does it raise questions?
You know, anytime you see how a small thing can turn into a massive thing, it raises concerns both about non-nefarious and nefarious risks to our systems. And you think about any transportation system today, it is more digitized, it is more dependent on software than it was a few years ago, and that trend is only going to continue. Now, on the whole, that has made our systems radically more efficient over the years. But as these vulnerabilities open up, we've got to make sure that players are on top of them, especially because most infrastructure is in private and or local hands. And that means any critical infrastructure owner, from a regional airport authority to a port to an airline, has to be on top of their own cyber responsibilities. So we're continuing to engage different infrastructure players on those issues. If you think back to early in this administration's term, the Colonial Pipeline issue was an example of how an issue from one side of the house can cascade into another. That cyber attack wasn't even on their operational systems. It was more on the administrative side of that pipeline, and yet wound up making it necessary for the whole thing to shut down. So we're certainly in a new era in terms of these risks, and I think there will be a huge amount of after-action assessment after the dust settles and things get back to normal.
And as the afternoon progressed, signs of recovery began to emerge, but the path to normalcy remained fraught with challenges. Airlines slowly resumed some flights, but warned of continued disruptions throughout the day. Emergency services in some areas reported that their systems were coming back online, while others still grappled with the outage. The healthcare sector continued to struggle. Mass General Brigham in Boston was forced to cancel all non-urgent surgeries and medical visits for the day. Across the country, hospitals and clinics face similar challenges, highlighting the critical dependence of modern healthcare on digital infrastructure. As evening approached, the focus shifted to the long-term implications of the outage. Cybersecurity experts warned that the incident exposed the vulnerability of our interconnected systems. Troy Hunt, an Australian web security consultant, he didn't mince words. He said, "I don't think it's too early to call it. This will be the largest IT outage in history." The economic toll began to come into focus. The aviation analytics firm Serum reported that over 1,400 flights had been canceled worldwide, with thousands more delayed. The ripple effects extended far beyond air travel, impacting supply chains, retail operations, and financial markets. As night fell, the world began to take stock of the day's events. CrowdStrike CEO George Kurtz, speaking in a late-night interview, committed to ensuring that every customer is recovered and pledged to keep the bad guys out of their systems. But for many, the damage was already done. What you'll see now is how even the iconic billboards in New York Times Square were affected by the outage, with many screens going dark. Watch. The outage exposed the fragility of our digital dependencies and raised questions, serious questions, about the resilience of critical infrastructure. As systems gradually came back online, experts and policymakers alike began to grapple with the lessons learned from this unprecedented event. At 4:23 p.m., reports emerged of significant delays at U.S. border crossings. Pedestrians faced 3-hour waits at San Ysidro port of entry, while even those with trusted traveler status experienced delays of up to 90 minutes. The San Diego Metropolitan Transit System reported that some employees living in Tijuana, Mexico, were unable to make it to work. Similar issues were reported at the Canadian border, with delays at the Ambassador Bridge and the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel. By 4:27 p.m., the financial impact on CrowdStrike and its leadership became apparent. CEO George Kurtz reportedly lost nearly $322 million of his personal fortune as the company's stock price plummeted. The Texas-based cybersecurity firm, which powers systems for some of the world's top companies and global financial institutions, saw billions wiped from its market value. And in a concerning development, the Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt sent a letter to the acting chief information officer of the Department of Defense requesting a briefing on the IT issue. He emphasized the threat to national security posed by a single point of failure in a cybersecurity strategy and called for the complete re-examination of cyber safeguards. The Department of Defense acknowledged awareness of the issues but refrained from commenting on the status of their network operations for security reasons. The outage even affected democratic processes, as seen in this statement from the Maricopa County, Arizona, announcing limitations in early primary voting due to the global IT outage. As the crisis unfolded, some users shared potential quick fixes for affected Microsoft systems, though experts warned against unsupervised troubleshooting. And adding to the concerns, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, warned that threat actors were taking advantage of the outage for phishing and other malicious activities, urging organizations and individuals to remain vigilant. As the world grappled with the fallout from this unprecedented event, Drew Hernandez pointed to eerily precedent warnings. A clip from a World Economic Forum report from January of 2023 resurfaced, predicting catastrophic global cyber attacks within the next 2 years. Watch.
We're here today to share the findings of the World Economic Forum's Global Security Outlook Report 2023. This is a result of research in collaboration with the forum's communities and our partner Accenture, in which we've interviewed and sought input from over 300 executives globally. The most striking finding that we found is that 93% of cyber leaders and 86% of cyber business leaders believe that the geopolitical instability makes a catastrophic cyber event likely in the next 2 years.
That video from the World Economic Forum dating back to January of 2023 shows experts predicting a catastrophic global cyber event within 2 years, a chilling foreshadowing of the CrowdStrike outage. Now, the CrowdStrike outage of 2024 will likely be remembered as a watershed moment in the history of cybersecurity, forcing a global reckoning with the vulnerabilities inherent in our increasingly interconnected world. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. This digital disaster serves as a wake-up call for our technologically dependent world. The CrowdStrike outage revealed how a single point of failure can cascade into a global crisis affecting every aspect of our lives. As we move forward, it's imperative that we diversify our systems, strengthen our digital infrastructure, and develop robust offline contingency plans. The interconnectedness that drives our progress must be balanced with safeguards that protect us from catastrophic failures. Only by learning from this chaos can we build a more resilient future, one that harnesses the power of technology while guarding against its vulnerabilities.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.